Pro-life congressman urged mistress to have abortion, report. U.S. Representative Tim Murphy is being called a hypocrite today, and that's just the beginning of the claims against the Republican congressman from Southwest Pennsylvania. Murphy, a pro-life lawmaker who on Tuesday voted for the House bill he sponsored that bans abortions at 20 weeks, told his mistress to get an abortion earlier this year, according to a report by the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. The Post-Gazette, which broke the story and was the first to share court documents, described it this way. A text message sent in January to U.S. Representative Tim Murphy by a woman with whom he had an extramarital relationship took him to task for an anti-abortion statement posted on Facebook from his office's public account. And you have zero issue posting your pro-life stance all over the place when you had no issue asking me to abort our unborn child just last week when we thought that was one of the options, Shannon Edwards, a forensic psychologist in Pittsburgh with whom the congressman admitted last month to having a relationship, wrote to Mr. Murphy on January 25, in the midst of an unfounded pregnancy scare. A text from Mr. Murphy's cell phone number that same day in response says, "I get what you say about my March for Life messages. I've never written them. Staff does them. I read them and winced. I told staff don't write anymore. I will." The same week of that exchange, Murphy touted his pro-life record to constituents in 3 emailed newsletters. Murphy was mostly silent on the pro-life agenda from January until Tuesday when he voted for the anti-abortion bill he sponsored. It passed the House 237 to 189. In additional documents shared by the Post-Gazette, Murphy is accused of a hostile work environment by his chief of staff. Murphy, a 64-year-old licensed psychologist, repeatedly denigrated employees, threatened them and created a state of terror, according to a memo from Susan Mozichuk, his chief of staff since 2003. The Post-Gazette shared the 6-page memo, sent June 8 entitled Office Conduct and Behavior, Harassment, Legal Compliance. You can find it here. It describes an ongoing and ever more pronounced pattern of sustained inappropriate behavior. That memo describes Murphy driving on June 5 during a torrential downpour while reading his iPad, playing YouTube videos and texting. The Post-Gazette report details that memo and another affair, before the one he previously acknowledged with 32-year-old Edwards. You can find all of that here.